In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, the world premiere.
You will beware. You're in for a scare.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Boo Shakalaka podcast. I am your host Tiffany, and I'm joined with my co-host Pierre.
Get out of my way, get out of my way. U.S. Army, U.S. Marshal.
Are you done or are you finished?
A little bit of both.
Oh, okay, great. So we're here with episode 9 of Goosebumps, titled Night of the Living Dummy Part 2. I am starting to regret doing this series because it has been downhill since Slappy came into the picture, which is crazy because I thought that would be the good part. I thought that would be the amazing part. I don't even want to take the beginning. You go.
We're just gonna say they were banking on getting a season 2. So we start this episode off with basically Nathan's a loser. That's what I got from it. He's a loser. He's an English teacher who was subbing in biology but still talking about English. So long story short, he gets fired from his job. He also is very behind on rent for some reason. And so his landlord's like, hey, look, bitch, I need my money by tomorrow. He like, well, girl, let me tell you something. I had your money, but they were like fumigating in my house. So I couldn't go into my apartment and get my check. I'm like, so what were you saying, Nathan? It's just like, it's like lies like that I can't take. So then she's like, okay, so where's the check now? Oh, you see my dog right here that I inherited? Yeah, Fifi pissed all over the check. And I'm like, why was the check on the ground? It's shit like that where I just be like, sir. So then Fifi runs into the road and gets hit.
Now you know that black lady. It was a black lady. She wouldn't have accepted that. She would have been like, bitch, go get my money. Like, I'm not playing with your ass no more.
We start the episode off very much so Pet Cemetery, very much so no. So yeah,
When
Nathan's
Fifi-
a loser.
When Fifi got ran over, I looked down at my dog like, okay, she's still here.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
Your dog
Scary.
is white too. It's not a poodle though. But yeah, Nathan's a loser.
Excuse you. She's 75% poodle, so it's a 1-drop rule. She's poodle.
Half breed. So Nathan's dog dies. He loses his job. He's about to get evicted, and that's when we find out that this is the moment where he actually inherits the Biddle estate. It's an estate, so he actually should be getting money as well as the house, as the cabin. What is that? I don't know what the loft.
Lodge.
The lodge. And so that's when, everything transpires. He moves into the house, all the evil stuff starts happening, and then we pick back up with him coming home by himself after everything that happened in the last episode. And I was like, they're not even gonna make sure he gets home safe. He couldn't walk. Nobody cares about Nathan. He has no friends, no family. I don't understand why he's a loser. I do after this episode. I get why he's a loser now because he's trash. But so Nathan decides to cope with everything by writing a manuscript for a book. And basically he's just writing all the events that happened up until this point in his book. He's just changing names slightly, terrible names. He's a terrible writer.
Wait, I have the names. So instead of Port Washington, it's Port Seymour. Instead of Isaiah, it's Isaac. Instead of Ben,
Racist.
It's Ken. Instead of James, it's Jesse. Instead of Isabella, it's Lizabetta. Instead of Margot, it's Madison. Instead of Lucas, it's Linus. Instead of Cyril, it's Sorrel. Instead of Colin, it's Coulter. Instead of Nora, it's Mora. And my favorite one, instead of Harris Biddle, it's Horace Boodle.
Terrible damn writer.
Horace Boodle. Wait, I'm sorry. Instead of Harold Biddle, is Horace Boodle. Like, he didn't even try. He didn't even
Slappy
try.
is just Snappy.
Oh, Snappy. I mean, we called him that several times. So, I mean,
Snappy
it made
the
sense.
turtle. So while he's writing his manuscript, we get like little updates on everyone. So Isaiah is he's still in his cast, but he's still training for the soccer, and he's back at his running speed. He's with his dad. Isaiah looks great in this episode. Like when he was standing there in the cold, I was like, his makeup is really well. His lips aren't ashy. You know how they do black people in shows.
Well, he's light skinned.
Them lips be ashy. They be like cracked.
See, he's got his winter face like me, because I'm usually not this light. In the winter, I turn into a ghost.
Oh, well, excuse me. I'm just brown skin. So yeah, and then Margot and Lucas are dating, I guess, and James and Isabella are just like friends. And yeah, and then Colin proposes to Nora, which he proposed to her without a ring.
Did he even divorce Sarah?
They're in the process of divorcing, and he proposes without a ring, and like Nora's okay with it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah,
I don't know, but like,
I hate the parent storyline. Like, it's just
okay. Oh, you just wait.
If you like it, I love it.
He finishes his manuscript and he sends it off to a publishing company. He's like, "This is it. This is it. This is my shit. I'm about to be the next Stephen King, the next R.L. Stein, the next Eric Jerome Dickey. Whatever. Everybody he's thinking about, he's gonna be." And then we see him like what it looks like he's in therapy, and he's talking about everything that's happening, how he's just starting to feel back like himself. He's just going on. I'm like, oh wow, the school finally supported him and allowed him to go to therapy to help himself. And then we look up and it's just Ben there hanging Fifi's taxidermy on the wall, and Ben's like, I don't need to hear all this shit. Like, you should be all right. But I'm like, Ben, he was literally possessed by a creature and he was in the void. You should have a little bit more sympathy for him. But Ben's like, I got my son back. Slappy is dead. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
Ben you know what? You know what? From a teenager.
Keep your money. I'm out of here. Keep your money. I'm out of here.
Keep your money, but also pay me in 2 months. Don't play with me.
Right.
I have a wife that I haven't seen since episode 1. I need her back.
Right. And then Nathan tells him about a book that he's writing, and Ben's like, wait a minute. What book are you writing? He's like, oh, just a little manuscript, just a little razzle dazzle. And Ben's like, but he doesn't pry, which is super dumb, because it's like he's an artist. He's a writer, and these crazy events just happened. Of course, he's going to talk about what just happened. He should have pried a little bit more, but like, Ben is very selfish.
Like I said, he hasn't changed since he was a teenager. Yeah, and so we skip to the kids. So basically, Sarah's mom actually asks her to move to Seattle because she's like, well, your dad's broke. He's not as rich as me and my photography money. So you want to move to Seattle? And I'm like, moving, it's not moving states, but still moving during your senior year. You said in the first, you didn't say in the first episode, but in a couple episodes, you said Margot didn't have any friends. And I'm like, that'd be the only reason why, that makes no sense. That's the worst time to move is your senior year. Like, different schools have different, that's okay. It seemed like a parenting decision. Like, I get you want to see your daughter, but why not have her apply for a college in Seattle? Like, something just to move her senior year when she finally has friends. It just seems an idiotic move to me. But because of that, the kids decide to go on a road trip to Seattle. Like, let me on. And they're gonna ride in James's Honda. And
you think they had their P-Jips?
You can go to hell for that. And then it gets weird because Colin talking about some can I come with you? I'm like, not Colin, sorry. Nathan talks about can I come with y'all? And I'm like, motherfucker, you're 40.
Go in there and get your burrito from get the hell out of here.
Because in the last episode, he was all talking about, hey, I'm still your teacher. Don't call me Nathan. Why are you? That is so inappropriate. No.
Yeah. And Lucas,
he's about to just...
Lucas doesn't even want to go to Seattle. And Nora was like, you getting the fuck out of here. I'm screwing my fiance in this house once and for all. We've been going to seedy motels, hiding out from you and Margot, but guess what? It's on this weekend. Get the stepping out of here. And he's like, "Yeah, you're right, Mom. Okay, I guess I could go. I think you'll be safe with Colin. All right. Have a good day." And like,
Lucas, I'm on your ass this episode, by the way. And then they say goodbye to Colin, and he's so awkward. He's like, "Yeah, don't have sex, guys." And I'm like, "Well, who would be having sex?" Because
Isaiah and James. And maybe
I want to
Isabella.
bring this up because I neglected to mention this last episode. What rating is this show? What TV rating is it? Because they stopped. I noticed they stopped cursing. So I was wondering what TV rating, because in the last episode they referenced edging. James made a reference to edging, and I was like, "Is this TV 14?"
Maybe they just think that you don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. I was like, because Isabella's like, "Is that a sex reference?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." And I'm like, "Who's supposed to be watching this show again?"
It is TV 14.
Okay, all right. I'll let them. Okay, Okay, because I was very concerned. I was like, "Not edging," and so,
Nathan gets his call from the
yes.
publishing company. Yeah.
And she's all like, "It's great." And I'm like, "What publishing company is this?" Because you can't be the publishing company from Misery.
Scholastic. It's the Scholastic Book Fair.
Literally. And so they're like, she's like, "It's super great. We just need a better ending." And so he's like, "A better ending? How do I get a better ending?" And I'm like, several ways. Like, he's such a writer.
He could have asked the people that he was with and said, "Hey, this is my book right here. Let me bounce these ideas off of you. What do you think would make for a good ending?" He tries to make an ending where it was like all a dream, and the publishing lady calls him. Oh, and he contacts her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, tell me about it." Well, I hope that your ending isn't like it was all a dream. Like that would just be ridiculous. And he's like,
"It's been done before."
He's like, "I'll email it to you instead because you don't want to hear me explain it. I'll email it to you. Don't worry, boo."
And so the parents, a lot of unnecessary scenes in this episode. The parents are having like a come together dinner where they're like, "Hey, Nora, we know we threw you in a mental institution, tried to take away from your son, but let's all be forgiving and loving." And Nora's like, all for it. And so they're all sitting down like, "Let's be friends again, guys." And again, Nathan comes in because he has a to-go order because he ain't got no fucking friends. And he's about to eat by himself like Steven fucking Glansberg. And Collins goes to the bathroom. He's like, "Hey, the gang's all here. You want to say hi?" And he's like, "I have writer's block. I don't want to." So he grabs his food and he goes. The kids are now, they've made it to Sarah's, and she's about to leave because she got shit to do. And she has a life. And she's like, "Don't burn down my house." And so the kids decide, "Hey, let's go get some gelatos." And I'm like,
after they already ate some za.
I'm just like, these children. And so everybody goes to get gelatos except for Margot and Isaiah. And I'm like, okay, Lucas, you bold. Because
something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
Looking like he ready to throw it for all episode. And so, she's all like, "Should I go? Should I stay? Do you think it's uncut?" And he's like, "I don't really care what you do. It's your decision."
Shut up. No, he wasn't. He was very supportive of her. Isaiah is a good friend. He was very supportive of how she felt, and he's like, "I really think you fit in really well here, but I'm not. But by all means, the decision is up to you." He was really good
when she asked about Lucas. He was very dismissive.
Because he ain't got shit to do with that. He ain't got shit to do with that.
If you're her friend, you're supposed to support her through anything, even
he's Margot's friend, not Lucas's. Lucas is a +1.
We skip back to Nathan, and he's on the drive home eating, and so he's listening to this podcast, and he's trying to get ideas.
You know who the podcast was? Who was actually hosting it?
Who?
R.L. Stein. Get the fuck out of here. That was really him. That was his picture and everything. I was like, "Oh, that's cute." They
like an Easter egg.
I like that. I like that. But you know what? I'm kind of on Nathan's side. Because why the fuck they didn't invite him to dinner? I mean, at this point, he goes in the force. He gets the idea. Oh shit, maybe I should get Slappy. That'll, I can get a better ending. At this point, he's Maleficent. He didn't get invited to the christening, so he's about to wreak havoc on all these bitches. I'm on his side at this point. A little later in the episode, I'm not. But at this point, it's all about him because fuck them. They should have invited him to goddamn Carrabba's or whatever the fuck they were eating.
This is Doctor Strange 2 all over again. So yeah, he decides to go find Slappy, and he does find him. And he brings him home, and he says the magical words. And we learn that Slappy puts himself together. I thought other people did that for him, and no, he just does it himself.
Yeah, as long as the incantation is uttered, he's able to put himself together.
And so he's like Chucky, but not like Chucky. Apparently, he can only sit up. He can't stand or anything by himself. He's a very, very needy puppet. And so he brings Slappy back to life. And then we skip back to the kids. They're attending a party where James is supposed to meet Margot's cousin. And he meets Margot's cousin, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Digimon digital monsters.
Because being queer, there's no one answer to being queer. Because we're all here.
Gotta catch them all, Pokemon.
And they were like, oh my God, they are so deep. They're so deep. And I was just like,
non-binary, we love it all. LGBTQ. I didn't understand. None of this was just pointless. Like, what? To the point of it all was that Lucas is being a fucking asshole. He's been being an asshole all day. Him and Margot go get donuts, and he's like, yeah, I want to work at my mom's store, and she's like, you want to be broke your whole life? And he's like, I'm offended now.
Like, where are your aspirations? Like what is
literally
this?
What is your aspiration in life?
You still owe Isabella $3,000.
And you need to fix my dad's motherfucking car. What you mean you about to work at your mama's?
Well, that's his mama did. They married now, so that's his mama did too.
Like, I'm just, that's not unreasonable. Like, what you mean? You just want to say Lucas is exactly who we thought he was. They tried to make him seem smart for his episode, but he's really a dumbass. So he's been pissy the whole episode. And so he's at the party and he's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I feel like y'all are moving on too quick. And she's like, bitch, we're kids. We went through it. We trying to have a good time. Do you want us to just be in fear for the rest of our... Like, what are you supposed to do? He's acting like Julie James from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, girl, we hit that man a year ago. I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm trying to get...
But we killed somebody, Helen. We killed somebody.
Like, girl, get a tan.
She was a little pale.
She was pale as fuck.
Like me.
Like, I was like, what is going on? But like, yeah, he's all like miserable. And so he's like, maybe I shouldn't have come. And she's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. So they like, I don't know, pseudo break up. And then he leaves the party. And then what happens then? So Slappy's there in the house and he's telling Nathan what to do. And so he brings back Fifi. I don't trust small dogs. I don't like small dogs. I don't subscribe to small dogs.
I love
feel
Fifi.
Like small dogs and cats are pure evil. Very much so Cujo, even though he wasn't a small dog. I don't trust him. So yeah, he brings back Fifi, who is Mary Fisher's dog. And so Fifi leads Nathan into the forest, and Fifi's like digging a hole. The dog sticks its whole head in the hole, and I was like, "Do dogs do that?"
Mine does.
So, Fifi's eyes turn demonic and red, and we realize that she's actually a vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so Nathan starts digging the hole per Fifi's command. I guess he just left Slappy at the house because Slappy wanted to make some hot cocoa, and we know there's a lot of that at that house. And
Slappy probably told him to leave so he can go in the bathroom and take a shit by himself.
Yeah, and get those wood chips out. So we're back with the kids, and Sarah's back at the house because her date ended. She just got pounded in a hotel room. And so Margot's like, where's Lucas? Where's Lucas? And Isaiah's like, you might want to read this. And so Lucas leaves Margot a note and he tells her, hey, I have hemorrhoids. So I need to go home and put some cream on them. And so she reads the note and she's very sad. And we see him getting on a bus. to go home. And then she decides to text him. And I'm like, why didn't he just text her goodbye? Why did he? 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 W handwrite a note. What the fuck is this, the 60s? So I guess they're supposed to be broken up. I
mean, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. He just wrote the note.
Unnecessary shit. Like, for this to be, this episode is called Night of the Living Dummy Part 2, and we didn't get half of what Night of the Living Dummy Part 1 gave
No,
us.
we did. We got two dummies.
Like...
No. We got two dummies. One is Slappy. The other one is Lucas.
Okay. Isabella needs more screen time. I'm sorry. These characters. So, fast forward through all that. Okay, we're back at Nathan's house. He has a coffin. The coffin apparently smells like shit and tamales. And
Slappy tells him to read the
open it. So he digs his hand in there through all the piss and cum, and he pulls out he pulls out a perfectly preserved card. Did you notice that? No dirt, no slime, no rat poo, no bugs, perfectly card. And he's like, hey, say the spell. Now this is the same spell that old school Ephraim was supposed to say. And the same thing happens when Nathan's about to read it. He sees, the flaming Leaning Tower of Pisa. And
it looked exactly like that.
Yeah. And so he's like, read it. But unlike his ancestor, Nathan finishes the spell. And I'm just like,
he has no willpower. He is a biatch.
Like
no why discernment, are you a biatch?
No discernment. I see why you ain't got no friends. Like, I hate when people make me want them. Some people deserve to get picked on. Bring back bullying. Bring back lockers that you can stuff people in. We need to take these motherfuckers out of here. We need the draft, and we need bullying. And we need to bring back good old-fashioned slut-shaming. I am sick of it. Because,
okay. Breathe. So he reads the incantation, and then Slappy collapses. Like, Slappy's not moving anymore. And then
becomes
the crypt keeper comes out of the coffin and he says, tales from the crypt. Then he says, I got a story for you ghouls and guys.
And so
I'm not done. So the crypt keeper comes out of the coffin. Why does he turn into Lestat?
He comes out of the coffin. Hair is laid for the gods. Suit is tailored. Lips are perched. Makeup on. Lots of blush. And his first words are, "Thanks for the ride, lady." Hey, lady. Hey, lady.
Is he going to Dover? I can't show it.
And so, Nathan's like, lady. Whoa, I ain't with that gay shit. And so, all of a sudden, Ben runs up. Now, why Ben decides to show up to Nathan's home unexpectedly, we don't know, because they didn't include that in the episode. They had time for dinners, they had time for proposals, but they couldn't draw a scene at like the dinner where he's like, hey, Nathan's supposed to write a book. Oh my God, you should stop him, Ben. So Ben shows up, and Slappy turns around. Sir Slappy at this point. And Lestat says the magic words. What are the magic words? Whole soul, reject the poison essence. Let love's light in this cruel possession. And so
Ben turns into Kirby.
Ben becomes Kirby. I can't do it. Oh my God, my lungs. And Ben's dead now. That they have not explained that spell. Everyone who goes through it dies. So I'm just like, did they just kill Isaiah's dad? Like, oh my God. And the episode ends. And I'm just like, oh my God.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. He does that to Ben, and then Lestat leaves the house with Fifi.
Wow. That was like the best part of the episode, but it's just like killing a major character like that. Like, out of all the characters you kill, you decide to kill fine ass Ben.
It should have been Eliza.
It should have been
Victoria.
It should have been Victoria, Eliza, Colin. I would have accepted any, but it just I don't think Isaiah's gonna handle that very well. Well, I don't know. He may get insurance money so he can pay for college if he doesn't get the football scholarship. Anywho, So the episode ends. It gave me nothing. You gave me nothing. You took everything from us. This
episode was a load I should have swallowed because oh my god, it
gave dry hump. It gave you want to do some on top of the clothes type of stuff? It gave
PG-13.
It gave. Are you ready for PG-13?
It gave Dua Lipa 2016 performances. Nothing.
It gave Jack Harlow raps. It gave Justin Timberlake for shiz.
It gave a Chinese from Great Britain nothing. You think Isaiah likes a Chinese?
I hope him and Isabella get up together. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this episode. Y'all had 10 episodes to give us something scary and ghouly and high stakes. I got nothing.
Filler.
I got nothing.
See, this is why I am opposed to watching TV shows, because they pull you in and they just succumb you, it becomes your whole life, and then they let you down. And like, I gotta waste 8 hours of my life when I could just watch a movie and only waste 2.
Shout out to Shadow Bone being canceled.
I don't know what that is, but for this episode, I give this episode, I'm getting lower and lower, 4.5 Goosebumps out of 10.
I'll give it a 5 because Isaiah looks good in this episode.
Isaiah always looks good. He's such a cutie. I feel so old saying that. Like, how old is he?
25. Calm down.
That's still too young for me. I'm a granny.
Okay, well, Leo would beg to differ. And so
no, because this is it for him. Time's up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 25. Yeah. I don't have, like, literally, I don't know what you talk. Nothing happened. It was just like. But Nathan, no. I mean, Nathan's trash. Ben dying is a huge deal, but Nathan's trash. Like, if you're that bad of a writer that you have to. But then again, they were dumb. The fact that they thought just throwing it down there and no one would find it. Like, yeah, it's snowing now. The snow's gonna melt soon when winter's over, and someone's gonna come around. Like, people go hiking, they're gonna come across the dog.
No. So you have to think. Biddle is the one that threw him down there. So Biddle probably didn't know. He was just getting it out of his grasp, which makes sense. But yes, the parents should have went down and retrieved it.
Because Nathan found him very quickly, like same night and everything. So it just
with an iPhone flashlight. What the hell?
I don't know what you want from us.
Look, we're not gonna harp on this much longer. So that was episode 9, Return of the Living Dummy Part 2, Return of the 2 Living Dummies. And next week is the season finale, and that it might be the series finale, the way they acting. That episode is called Welcome to Horrorland, so please come back. Join us then. Watch us rant and rave that one. If it's a bad episode, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see. But I'm gonna go watch it tonight, and yeah, I'm done.
No, Mr. Accent on the done. I'm done. Goodbye.
Tales from the Crypt.
At least do us the courtesy of giving us a reach around the next episode, because you fucked us.